Alrighty, folks, as you know, I am already working diligently to make ORAAT Celebration year number 4 even better. Specifically, I am looking to get 50 teenagers in the room, and we're going to do something special for them. There will be a teenagers only track. And once again, I will personally be paying for their tickets so their parents can bring them for free. So again, teenagers get in for free. Casey, you were there in year 3. You saw the success of the trial run where we had 22 teenagers in the room. And I have some ideas for year 4 that I want to share with you. Ready?
Yes, I am very ready. I have a teenager, almost 2. So this is exciting. Let's hear it.
Well, you know what? Actually, it's funny. I just talked to Coach Carson, and he's thinking about coming and maybe bringing his 2 teenagers as well. He has a 13 and a 15-year-old. So again, you feel free to bring them if you think this is going to be interesting. So
okay,
let me start with the end in mind, and then we're going to show you how I get there. So the end in mind is when the teenagers go home with their parents, they have some common things to talk about. We want the teenagers to understand what life costs, and we want them to understand how they could get there, right? And those are some pretty high bars for teenagers. So how are we going to do that? We're going to break up the teenager track into 3 different sections. So day 1, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. in a room all by themselves, all 50 of them with probably 3 or 4 proctors kind of running the room. We're going to do vision board. Now, I will have to get printed ahead of time, big vision boards with different categories like house, car, life, family, vacations, just all of that. Second, I'm going to have to go buy or ask for help in getting magazines because I want them to physically cut them out and make them glossy. And I want them to, I want to throw 10 magazines on the table and in all the room.
Yep.
And then, that's the morning, right? We'll probably start it off with, somebody who's been there and done that, right? Started from nothing, but's got the cars and the toys and the stories, just so they can see that it's really possible. But yeah, the morning is, think about what you want. Go nuts. Cut it out, glue them to this thing, and, we're going to spend at least 90 minutes doing that. So then we'll, they'll break, they'll go for lunch, they'll go back with their parents, do all of that. Then from 3 to 4, again on Saturday, we're going to come back and we're going to try to figure out what their vision board costs. Probably by month, right? Like, okay, your vision is $13,000 a month. Your vision's $8,000. Your vision's $75,000 a month, right? Whatever it is. So we're going to figure out what their life costs. So that's day 1. And then day 2, we're going to come back and actually play the board game, cash flow board game. So I'll probably have to have people help me because the game's expensive. I only have 1 or 2. We probably need 10, but I'm sure my community has them, and we'll bring those together. And then we're going to play the board game for a couple hours. And then at the end of that, we're going to obviously break down what you learned, do all of that. But we're going to give the kids a 1 sheet. Like, these are all the things we hope you learned. And we're also going to give their parents the same 1 sheet so that when they go away, they have something similar to talk about. So that's the rough outline for teenagers. What are your thoughts?
I like it. One thing I think I like, I think that, and you already said it, but definitely have like a young kid, a younger person there that has made it, because when they add up their vision board and they're going to need $20,000 a month, I mean, some people make $30,000 a year. And right. So it's going to sound, especially depending upon their peers and what their friends' parents do for work. Some of it might just sound like pie in the sky. Like, oh yeah, great. Let's just cut out all these pictures, but that's not going to be me. So having someone there that's done the things, and doesn't even have to be through real estate, but obviously that helps, sure. And maybe even multiple income streams, letting kids know that, hey, you can make money through multiple ways and that you shouldn't depend on just one way anyway. I think that'd be cool. Another thing that I think I would like to see, a lot of it is mindset and belief system. And so if there were to be some, I mean, some people, are very religious and, their faith in God and all those things. And some people are more like, I have the power, which really is God too. You are God. God's inside of you. I don't go to church and all those things, or read the Bible per se, but the belief and all the things that God and all those things stands for, all the stories, all that is the same stuff I believe, just in a different way. And so books like The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, Think and Grow Rich, and all these other powerful books, I think maybe if there was a book list or maybe even some giveaways for some books, or if kids like audiobooks, maybe some giveaways or something. If you were to do like the raffle thing like last year, maybe some of those powerful books, Think and Grow Rich for Teens. That's a book that I'm having my kids read right now. Okay. Written by Rich Dad, Poor Dad, by Robert Kiyosaki, but it's built just for teens. I think there's one for kids too, but I haven't gotten that one. Okay. So, but I think some inspirational books or talks, maybe someone speaking about how their belief, their belief has changed them. Because like for me, I was this stay-at-home. I went to school, I got my college degree and all those things. And then I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years. Like, I go to school to be a stay-at-home mom. You work your whole life to just stay at home, which is great. And I know your mom's like, don't ever say that again, Casey. I said, I won't, I promise. But that was my belief, and that I never thought that I could ever, make more than $100,000. Like, oh, that would be like the top. If I ever can make $100,000 a year, that would be so amazing. But, I have far exceeded that after being stay at home for 10 years. And it wasn't because I did the work. I did the work, but it was a belief system first. You have to have the belief that you can do it. Otherwise you won't. Women and all sorts of people have a glass ceiling, or poor people have a glass ceiling. You think I could never. Well, that is a limited belief. And so I think if there's some talks on overcoming your limiting beliefs, not having a scarcity mindset, having an abundance mindset, to have just the innate knowingness that money is everywhere and it's not in limited supply and you can get it in so many ways. I think that will, especially young minds can be molded so much easier, and schools mold our kids' minds. And that's why we homeschool. But, we can mold them to say, hey, you can be anything you want if you just believe. The thing that I harp on my kids, Michael, every day I say, if you believe it, you can achieve it. If you believe it, you can achieve it. And I tell them that all day. If you believe, you can achieve. As long as you think and you know innately inside you that you can, you will. Because the universe is a direct reflection of what you believe. And so it's going to give you what you think about and what you believe. So if you believe you can't, you're right. You can't. Mm-hmm. So you have to believe first. So otherwise the vision board's pointless. So I think having some talks about the belief system and knowing that you can do it, and seeing other people hearing their stories, having done it young, will be really good.
Yeah, we're going to have this led by people in their mid-20s. Cody Davis, Ashley, his wife, Ashley Davis, and Dylan, hopefully will be there as well, and others. So they're going to be the proctors. Because when I think about the teenagers going home with their parents, I want them, to have, like I said, a common talk track. That's why they're both going to get the one-page, whatever it's going to be. But also they're going to have ideally, they're going to take the vision boards home with them and share them with their parents. Yeah. And you're absolutely right. The whole thing I'm trying to get them to understand, that the big riddle I'm trying to solve is, what do they want and what does it cost? Mm-hmm. Because at least when I was a kid,
you have
no clue, right? And I didn't know what was too crazy or not too crazy. So that's what I'm trying to solve for, is that riddle.
I got another idea.
Okay, cool. Shoot.
So what about leaving them? I'm a big proponent in leaving people with action steps or homework or something to do next. Great motivation, rah, and then they go home and they go back to playing video games. What about some sort of action steps, or, hey, what I think personally, because I do have one teenager, one almost teenager, is that if they can see what it's like to make money, if they can get the taste of, I can make money myself without my parents doing it, or without doing chores and getting money from my parents for doing things, no, you need to get money from other people, not from your family. So I don't know, but just an idea. Yeah. Some sort of homework or action plan or steps that they could take to make money in the next 90 days, something like that, next 30 days, next 90 days, steps you can do, the kids can do at home to make money in their own way. It doesn't have to be real estate. It could be selling a product, not a lemonade stand, because that's stupid, but something like that, like something that they have, expertise doing.
Mhm.
Or whatever, every kid has expertise. My daughter can play guitar. It's like, okay, well, why don't you go to the local coffee shops and ask if you can play for an hour? You can do it for free. You can play at a coffee shop for an hour. If you know 10 songs, put them on repeat, play it like something. Because if they can see that they can make money doing anything, making Christmas ornaments, I guess it'll be January, but making and selling something, providing a service, power washing, anything that they can see that they can do it themselves and make money, and they can have that, check off their box and that sense of accomplishment that, hey, I came home with an action plan to make, $500 in the next 90 days. I think that would be really eye-opening. And then everything that you've said about the vision board and listening to these stories of people doing this stuff will feel more realistic to them because they've already accomplished one thing. And sometimes that first thing, just selling something for $5, is the biggest mindset hurdle to overcome.
I love it because we do have, because again, I'm breaking this down to 3 days or 3 events. We still have afternoon day 2. We could do an hour session and make that about the action step, give them samples, some ideas of other, online ways to make money. That we could do that. There definitely could be a Sunday afternoon thing. Okay. See, that's why I brainstorm with this with lots of people. It always gets better.
Yep. I love it, Michael. This is fantastic idea.
Yeah. Have you ever done a vision board?
I have one right back there. I did a couple of years ago.
Yeah. I did one. Yeah, I did one. I've only done one as well. I did it in 2019 because I felt stuck. I was like content but stuck, and I remember because I did the whole cut it out of magazine thing versus online, right? Yeah, I did that. I was like, this kind of feels hokey, but the more I got into it and started gluing them to the thing, I don't know what it was, but it felt more. It just gave me a purpose, I guess. It's like, okay, if that's really what I want, and I'm not acting that way, either take it off that was what it was for me. If I put it on the board and I wasn't acting that way, I either had to take it off the board or I had to change my behavior. And that was really eye-opening to me.
Are you familiar with a guy named Sam Ovens?
Yes. Isn't he the guy that founded School?
Yeah.
Sam Ovens?
So a long time ago, before he started School, my sister took his course and I took his course, and so his whole thing, and I still have some of his stuff on my cork board up here, but he said, in order to get what you want in life, you have to change who you are. You have to be a different version of yourself. You have to be like Casey 2.0. And that understanding, like, the behaviors, the characteristics, the type of person that I am right now isn't going to get me to this next level, because who I am now is where I'm going to be. If I want to be up here, I have to become that person. Just like you said, the behaviors you have to be, and if you listen to these other people, like I could rattle them off, but you have to be a different person. So what type of person could achieve X, Y, Z?
Right.
What type of, dedication do they have to have, and perseverance, or, habits would they have to have? Mindset and beliefs would they have to be this? Because your poor person, I can't mindset isn't going to get you here. You have to be somebody different. And so he said, turn into, Casey 2.0. And so that was kind of the beginning of how I changed, was going through his course and saying, okay, well, what's Casey 2.0 look like? And how can I believe that? Well, then it turned into reading those books and putting into practices the meditations and the mantras, and every day lifting my vibration and raising my energy level. You can feel when you're at a certain energy level, like when you're poor and depressed and sad, you feel that energy level. When you are proud of yourself and you are on top of the world and you are being successful, you're doing the things, you're at a different energy level. We are all made of energy, and you have to match that frequency if you want whatever frequency and you're trying to be at. One thing I learned, Michael, is rich people, they're usually happy. Do you know a lot of seriously, do you know a lot of unhappy rich people? Jerks?
No,
always no. Every time I meet very, very rich people, they are kind. They are always happy. They're on a different frequency, the love frequency. So you have to change into, Casey 2.0 or you 2.0. And what are those characteristics going to be? So maybe even the teenagers that are writing down, how are they going to achieve this vision board? They're going to believe, but you have to change your beliefs by what? By changing who you are and changing your habits. So got on my horse there.
No, that last statement is exactly why the vision board meant so much to me. Because again, if I took the time to put it on the board, but I wasn't acting the way to get to this, I had to do one of two things. I either A, had to take it off the board because it wasn't important, or B, it was like binary. I had to do one of two things. It was so crystal clear to me. That's why I thought it was so powerful. So again, yeah, I think this is going to be fun. We're gonna get teenagers to dream a little bit. We're gonna get them to understand what life costs. We're gonna let them play a board game that's been a light bulb moment for lots of us. We'll do something Sunday afternoon as well. I think
challenge them. Challenge them to get that dopamine hit and make $500, $100, whatever it is in the next 90 days. What's their game plan gonna be? They have skills. 5-year-olds can sell 25-cent lemonade. People do bake sales. There's no excuse. They can think of something that they can sell to get that dopamine hit to see, I can do it. I think that's important, that they go home with putting what they learned into action. I think that's a lot was missing when you go to some events that are, they're raw and they want to hype you up. And then, but you're back, but you're still Casey 1.0 when you go home.
All right. So Sunday afternoon is going to have to be some kind of challenge.
Yes.
Got it.
It's just like do the work, just like you say, fill out your spreadsheet every day, 90 days, do the work. What these kids they can do it, show them that they can do it.
Okay.
To-do list.
Homework. I like it. Well, now we got to ask, are you going to bring your teenagers next year?
I don't know. Let me think about it. Let's find. Maybe, I'll have next January, I will have a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Yeah, it's the same age as Coach's children.
I know. How funny is that?
I think they'll be 1 year older by January, but yeah. This, cool. I mean, I'm trying. It's 50. I'm hoping for 50 teenagers.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can bring mine too. I'll talk to you.
There you go. Yeah, come on, Casey. You can bring 2 of them. Then I only need 48.
Yeah. And we'll have to go to California afterwards and see family. But then
exactly.
Mother-in-law will have to bring the 8-year-old. It'll be a whole family thing. They'll all be in California.
Then you get to ride it off as a business trip because you're coming down.
That's right.
There you go. Where can they find you, Casey?
All right. People can find me on YouTube, Brick by Brick Wealth, and on my website, brickbybrickwealth.com. And you can check me out on Instagram, it's all Brick by Brick Wealth. Super easy.
There you go. Thanks, Casey. You're amazing. Take care.